G'day guys, welcome back to the Fon Supercoach YouTube channel. Today we will be reviewing round 17. Probably not much trade stuff to talk about, although there are a few injuries. So yeah, we might cover a little bit of that as well. All right, let's get into it. Oh, hold on. Let's not get into it yet. So 23.93 for me this week. I thought that score would be pretty poor, but apparently it was quite good. So that resulted in me rising 112 ranks to just outside the top 500. Looks like I might be able to just sneak into the top 500 this year, which would be good. Top 500's a very decent rank, so I'm reasonably okay with that, given I had some very, very bad picks that have really derailed me. But let's get into it for real this time. In defense, Rosie, 131. Just went bananas. Yeah, really good pick. This was kind of a weird game because it felt like Port were going to come back and overrun Brisbane at times, and then their whole bench was injured and they ran out of gas. So, Rosie was very good and pretty surprised he's still only 560 and he's been so cheap the whole year, but good to see a nice score from Connor. Dane Zorko, 100. He was fine. Didn't notice him too much in this game, but I will note that Port has typically been tough for defenders, so we take a 100 in a matchup that isn't great. Bailey Dale, 65. What happened in this game? Oh, he got tagged by Constanti and then sent forward at the end of the game. Dale was drafted as a forward, so that is mildly concerning, but I don't think that will persist every week. It is worth noting that I think more coaches are going to try and tag halfbacks instead of mids going forward. I don't know if that happens this year, but I think in the future years it will happen a lot more. There's a few reasons for that. First of all, losing a small forward or a half forward to tag a halfback is much better than losing a midfielder to tag a midfielder. So that's number one. It has less burden on your midfield. Number two, I think it's just generally easier. The halfbacks are generally very outside players and they don't have great inside games. So you just need someone who can run with them. You don't need someone who's physical enough for them and that sort of thing. So that's why I think it'll happen more. Also, a lot of teams are really driving off halfback at the moment, so it makes more sense to try and limit that really fast ball movement that punishes your defence. So, unfortunately, I think Dale might see more attention in the future weeks. Adelaide probably not, but thank you, Supercoach. I guess I will check over here. We got Brisbane. Probably doesn't get attention against Brisbane. It probably may get attention against Essendon though. So. Oh, wrong week. Here we are. Okay, so yeah, Dale, whatever. I'm sort of a little bit disheartened by this. Surely it'll open this time. Here we are. This should have been a really good run home, and we've gone 83, 99, 65 in ironically, the toughest matchup I thought here was this SCG game, and that was the one he went best in. So yeah, pretty frustrating that. I'm probably under 100 average from Dale now, so yeah, hopefully he turns it around. Sinclair having a dreadful run of form. I don't think Nas is affecting him like others are suggesting. I think his form is just really bad at the moment, which is pretty sad because, 2 Marvel games going average at 70. It's just unheard of from Sinclair. So, yeah, it's pretty brutal. But Sinclair's highly owned, so I'm not overly worried about it. If you had the trades, would I move him on? Now, there's a question. Sydney this week. I think their run is really good still. Yeah, this Geelong game sucks, but the rest of the games are quite good. So I'd probably hold him, to be honest. Although he'll probably get attention this week. Interesting. I might actually loop him with McCarthy this week, but we'll get to that later. McKercher, 123. Designated kickers fill up against the Dogs. McKercher's quite good at filling up against teams that let him, so that was nice to see. McCarthy, 82. I think this guy is actually genuinely primo. I think there's going to be a decision point whether or not he started next year. Genuinely, I'm not joking. The 82 comes from the fact that the Giants are just they're the toughest matchup for halfbacks. So we take an 82 in that sense. Pretty good for your cover. And yeah, what a player McCarthy is. Absolute weapon. Should get Whitfield back this week so we can play around with who we cover again. Nick Dacos, 127. Just did what he plays against Carlton, which was nice to see. No tag. I think we're going to get to a point where Dacos, he develops enough of a contested game and works out how to break the tag so that he's just simply going to average 130. And I don't think we're too far away from that. So Next year, I will definitely be starting him because if I had to pay 113 for Dacos, I would do it in a heartbeat. So that'd be about like 580, I would imagine. So would definitely start that. Butters 113, a little bit quieter than normal. Well, I mean 113 is still a good score. Brisbane's a tough matchup though, so we take that. Tom Green 105, wanted a little bit more against West Coast, but as I like to say, it is what it is. So Bontempelli 133, he was probably not quite a 133 I would have thought, but I'm pretty happy with that. I was very lucky. I switched the vice captain off Cherry about 5 minutes before the bounce. I love making decisions 5 minutes before the bounce. It's just silly. And I got very, very lucky in a sense that Cherry was essentially taken out of the game with about, 25 minutes to go due to a concussion concern. So, yeah, very fortunate there that I didn't lose points on that decision. So we take that. And then Dawson against Melbourne was like okay and then gave away a heap of free kicks in the last quarter or the third quarter or something. And yeah, just resulted in a 98 in a good matchup. So that is unfortunate. Still taking 110 on the season from Dawson. So very happy with that. Oh, I didn't start him in the end. I don't know when I got him. Let's have a look. Am I getting more or less than 110? I presume I'm getting significantly more. I think I got him for this game. I don't know. I'll have to check my videos. But yeah, Jordan Dawson, big fan. Sarong got absolutely clamped. I was surprised. I think I didn't watch last week, so I didn't see that Campbell went to Dale. And I didn't realise that. So I just assumed that Jordan would go to Clark. But Jordan went to Sarong and absolutely dominated him, by the way. And then Campbell went to Clark because, yeah, for some reason, like I knew that Clark would get tagged. I just didn't realise they were running two taggers. So yeah, that was it's pretty effective against Freo as well. If you can shut Sarong out of the contested game, you can get a hold of their midfield quite easily. So I'm not surprised that happened. And then Clark as the dash off halfback is not surprising either. That he got attention. So fortunately, I only had one of them. But yeah, Sarong, tough score there. And I think that's the one that dropped out for me. Oh wait, no, I filled it a donut because I had Smith, so got that score. Yes, anyway, Brayshaw 103 is what it is. I can't imagine the SCG is a great matchup for those boys, so we take that. And then Chera 89. I didn't really notice Chera in this game, if I'm going to be honest. So I watched all of this game, but I don't really have much to say about him. So he's just chugging along. It's whatever. Getting 100 average. It's not ideal. I don't really have the trades to move him on though. So here we are. And then Cherry, as I said, 126 was a great result. Note to self, always vice captain, Captain Rux against English. He gets dominated. But yeah, Cherry was very good. And as I said before, I was lucky I didn't get hurt for my last minute decision to switch the captaincy off him. And then Marshall, 135. So this was my one trade for the week. I traded De Koning to Marshall once I saw that Pitnet was out. There's two reasons I did this. First of all, I think they're going to use Pitnet more often because it's later on in the year, is one. Two, they're going to use him in tougher matchups. So this week they probably don't use Pitnet, but next week against Melbourne, they probably will against Gawn. So that's why I flicked him. The other reason is that he's so unbelievably checked out. And I think I would be staggered if the Saints put 1.7 million in front of him at this point. Like, he's just so checked out, not interested at all. So that's why I flicked him on. It was very funny to see the Collingwood cheer squad singing the Saints theme song to Tom. So that was a bit of a laugh. But yeah, Smith laid out. How many games has this guy played? I think he's missed 3 now, right? Yeah, so didn't play 16, 17. Well, he had the bye in 16. He missed 2. Yeah, he's missed 3 games now. Okay, interesting. I think if you got off Smith after this Essendon game, or even after the Brisbane game, to be honest. Oh, wait, never mind. They have St Kilda, North, Port, Essendon, Sydney, Richmond in the run home. Oh, boy. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, keep Bailey Smith. He scores points. He's good. Petrarca, 79. Just went missing after half-time. Does this regularly. Well, to be fair, the whole team went missing after half-time, so it's not only a Christian problem. But yeah, his kicking is bad, so if he doesn't get involved, it's a little bit of a disaster. And honestly, having having players whose kicking is as bad as Petrarca's is it's very tough to score Supercoach points with them. But yeah, it is what it is. He's not the only one in that Melbourne midfield. Unfortunately, I'm at my wit's end with watching them, but life goes on. Sam Darcy, 73. I thought Dawson was really impressive on Darcy, I'll be honest. So I thought this would be a fill-up. It wasn't, but Dawson was quite good. So, it is what it is. This is key forwards for you. Like, that's just what you get. And then Rankin, 131. I thought Adelaide were pretty poor on the weekend, but Rankin was the difference. And when Melbourne plays poorly as they do, you don't need more than one player to get you over the line. So, yeah, Isaac was really good, had 5 goals, bunch of disposals, some nice score assists, just was doing it all. So, love watching him go about it. Would love a little bit more mid-time, but if he's going to fill up every week, then I'm fine with him playing forward. Caleb Daniel, another one that I didn't really notice. I wasn't really paying attention to him. I'm sort of like, I will note in saying what I'm about to say that Archer's just been ruled out for the rest of the season with a syndesmosis injury. So I'm not expecting Daniel to get dropped like I have been previously, but I think his role is going to get diminished. They still seem to want McKercher to go forward at some point, which I don't really understand. He looks like tailor-made for half-back to me, but I don't know, maybe that gives Daniel a little bit more longevity in that half-back role. I just need him to get to the end of the year. We've got, 7 weeks left. Come on, Caleb, just hold your spot. And then Horne-Francis playing injured in a side with no bench on the weekend. So, yeah, 78. This hole's been such a disaster, holding over McRae. Like, I don't even want to look at what McRae's done since coming back from injury, but we're going to do it anyway because, well, he's got green, so that can't be too good. 87, 131, 91, 116. Oh, it's so painful. It's unfortunate because Horne-Francis came back and he was really good in this game, and then hurts his shoulder in this game, and then it was just he got subbed. Oh no, he hurt his shoulder in this game, was okay here, subbed out, and then just I don't know, tough matchup I guess, but it's pretty unfortunate. The 50-50 that I held was more problematic over the guy who had a literally punctured lung, by the way, but this guy got re-injured, so that's the game. That's the game, unfortunately. And then Nas was superb. Just really good. I don't know. They just look for him so much and he gets so much ball. I've said this all year about Nas. He gets so much ball that you simply have to pick him because he's going to score. He doesn't have to be incredible with it to score. So, hence why we have Nas. And I think he is a captain's option on the run home. I'm looking at that Melbourne matchup at Marvel this week and I'm thinking, could be a good one for Nazaya. But there are some other good matchups this week. So, we will discuss those right now. All right, let me set up for what I want to do this week. So, okay, well, the Supercoach is having a problem at the moment. Anyway, I'll have Whitfield on field. So, my options for looping with McCarthy are McKercher against Geelong. I can't loop him with forwards, otherwise I would. We've got McKercher against Geelong. At Marvel, that's probably okay. Sarong against West Coast. I don't think West Coast will tag, so I'm not going to look at that. Chera against Hawthorn is the other one that I am heavily considering looping him with. So it's either going to be Chera or the other one I could go is Dawson, but Dawson in showdowns goes well, so I might not go there. So it's going to be Chera or McKercher that I loop him with. Can I get this guy on field, please? Okay, apparently not. Okay, it's updating the score, so I think he's on field now. Anyway, can I? No. Whatever, it's playing silly buggers. Anyway, so captains, vice captains, I don't know if I'm going to be able to update these either. Nope, okay. It is what it is. So, going down the line here, I highly doubt that the Dons are going to let Dale get 50 touches again, so I'm not going to look there. Bontempelli is interesting, but they have been using Setterfield in defensive roles, and I kind of don't want to go there. Tom Green against Sydney is a little bit interesting, but I probably won't go there either, although it would be pod, but I don't think Tom Green has the ceiling to really hurt non-owners in a captaincy sort of way. Like a top score 140. If he went 140, it'd be nice. So Sarong and Brayshaw against Freo. What's the history like? Are they playing Hawthorn this week? Am I losing my mind? That says, I think the app's having some problems. Is this right? No, this is round 20. Oh my God, what am I doing, man? All right, sorry. One Take YouTube channel, so here we are. Okay, McCarthy, let's go back to this discussion. Who am I looping McCarthy with? All right, so probably Chera on the Thursday night. Not McKercher against Melbourne. Not Port Adelaide boys. Oh, Sinclair maybe against Sydney. But I think I'd rather loop with Chera. I think, well, I get to see how Chera goes before I commit to that. So I don't really have to make a decision, but it's going to be either Chera or Sinclair, I think. And I might even consider, no, I'm not going to do Sarong. It's going to be Chera or Sinclair. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go with McCarthy. And then captain, vice captain. I should have picked this up because I already knew that I was going to be very into Dacos this week. Worth noting, Dacos didn't train today. He's been unwell, so I'm going to monitor that throughout the week and see if I still want to go there come Friday night. The other options I really like are Bontempelli against Adelaide. You could even go Dale against Adelaide. Probably wouldn't touch Whitfield, but you could go Tom Green against Geelong. Zach Merritt's a massive one if you have him. Caldwell out for the season, so there's no chance those CBAs go down. Richmond don't tag. It's probably going to be your last good Zach Merritt score, so maybe you can flip him after this. But who knows? Who knows if the tags will come. Probably won't go the Freo boys against Hawthorn. Melbourne, if you had Gawn or Cherry, I probably wouldn't go there. Probably wouldn't go Petrarca or Sheasel or McKercher either. So yeah, probably avoid that game. I would avoid this Sydney-St Kilda game. I would suggest that Braden Campbell is going to go to one of Sinclair and Nazaya Wanganeen-Millera. I don't know which one. So I would avoid that. And then Port, so Butters has to have the captaincy option on him this week. It is that simple. So I'm thinking I'm going to go Dacos or Bont into Butters. That's what I'm thinking here. I don't know if Butters will go too berserk because... Oh, he's actually got really bad history against West Coast. Interesting. I'm going to have to do a deep dive as to why that is, but I may just go Dacos into Bont then. But yeah, they're my three options, Dacos, Bont, Butters. Yeah, so... Players, are there any players I'd jump off? I think if you still had Tom de Koning, I would jump off. If you can do it in one trade. So... He's the main one for mine. Obviously, if you've got Caldwell, he's injured, so you have to jump off him. Let's go Rux to just above 500. All right, where would I go off of Tom de Koning here? Briggs went 140. Who did Briggs play? Oh, he played Flynn. Okay, no, we're not going there. Stanley Tons. Your options aren't that good down here. I would probably go Meek. You could go Shrek, but that would be a very tough watch. Yeah, I think... How much is Wits? Okay, Wits is too expensive. If you've got 50k, you could go Wits. If you've got 10k, you could go Rob or Nank. Okay, so I think Rob, Nank, or Wits in one trade, if you have the cash to go, or Meek, if you have the cash to go for one of these guys, that's where I would go. If you had de Koning. If you have... No, I'd probably do it anyway, even if I had only 2 or 3 trades. I think de Koning probably does not much from here. Obviously, if Pinnet doesn't play this week, then you just keep de Koning for one more week, but I think trading him should be at the forefront of your mind if you own. But yeah, that's the video for this week. Let me know how you guys went in the comments below, how you're going towards the end of the season. Hopefully not too many trades to make this week. If you've got LDU, I would hold, by the way. Concussion's super unlucky, but he'll be back in a week. Ideally, you have McCarthy to cover. If you have no cover and you're just fielding 22 this week, that's probably fine, provided the rest of your players get up. if you do need to get like a 1 week cover option, my man would be George Stevens. Really wish we got this guy at the start of the year. This dude is really good. I don't know how else to put it. He's just really good, and he is a ready-made AFL midfielder. Don't know why Geelong's been playing him in the twos for so long, but if he's selected and you needed a 1 week cover type for one trade who is cheap, that's where I'd go. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.